Hey y'all, Dekumon here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Last time, took a little break from the role quest to take on the two 6.0 dungeons, Smileton and the Stigma Dreamscape. Both are pretty good. I mean, really good in terms of dungeon design. They are so gorgeous to look at. Oh my goodness. Man, Yoshi P had like way too much time on his hands. I shouldn't say that because the man has been probably working himself to death, working on this and 16 at the same time. But holy crap, they stepped it up something fierce in those two dungeons. They were both gorgeous looking. Speaking of gorgeous looking, my lovely white mage outfit. It's actually not bad. I love the red accents in this. Not too fan of the visor though. That's gotta go away. That's better. I don't know, I don't like head coverings for the most part. Hats are okay. Things that cover the face, not so much, and it just looks silly, let's be honest. Anyway, it looks like we're heading to Alamigo for this next group. Far from free. Oh shit, look at the faces we got to play with. Raubon, Fordola, Ehrenwald? Oh, this is just gonna be a star-studded cast today. If you are ready to lend us your aid, I'll apprise you of the situation. All right. We've received reports of a creature believed to be a blasphemy stalking the beast streets of Alamigo. Troops have been assigned to track and slay the beast, but they are likely to be casualties. With most of our healers posted elsewhere, we had thought to petition you for aid. I'd be glad to help. Sounds like you need better soldiers, not more healers, but if I must, nah. Let's not insult the Alamigan soldiers any more than they already have been. Once again, we're in your debt. We shall inform Commander Alden at once. My comrades in the Immortal Flames will be glad to have you watching over them. You see, as there have been no sightings of any blasphemies in our lands, we have joined our Alamigan allies in their hunt for the fiends. I just realized she was female at the last second, I'm sorry. Trouble is, the majority of our own healers are working day and night to treat the tempered Imperials captured at Poglathon. For that reason, we too will be glad of your help. Your presence alone will be of great comfort to the troops, I'm sure. As time is of the essence, I ask that you make your way to the Alamigan Quarter and report for duty. Commander Alden is overseeing the hunt, and he will explain all upon your arrival. May Roga grant you strength. Blasphemy hunting in the streets of Alamigo, you say? Sounds like a fun day. So you're our reporter for this episode, huh?
Master Tia, we were told you were on your way, but this is even quicker than expected. I'll tell Commander Alden you've arrived. One moment, please.
Glad you could join us. Oof. I have lost Raubon's voice. I know he's like this big gruff thing, so I'd have to try and give him something a little on the gruff side. Just not something that's gonna tear my throat up, because I'm probably gonna be using a lot of him this episode. Off she goes. Now that our far greater crisis has been resolved, we may and must turn our undivided attention to matters of a smaller but no less deadly scale. I'd like nothing more than to hear about your recent adventures, but I'm afraid such pleasantries will have to wait. Ho! As our man at Daphne will have told you, a blasphemy is loose in Alamigo. When it first appeared, the city guard were able to get most of the bystanders to safety, and for mercy, those caught on the chaos only suffered minor injuries. But the fiend managed to escape and has not been seen since. We must find it, and soon. For as long as it remains at large, every man, woman, and child is at risk. So I guess we are basically confirming that the little ones are the big ones are what's causing people to turn into the little ones. As was the case in Thavner, the blasphemy's very existence seems to spur the creation of lesser beasts. The longer it is allowed to roam free, the more tragedy our people will suffer. Are you certain it's a blasphemy? Did anyone see the change take place? Yeah, any witnesses would be super handy right now. Oh, we got one? Aye, there were several eyewitnesses who gave the same account. A man walking through the Alamigan Quarter fell to his knees all of a sudden, and a moment later transformed into the monstrosity we now pursue. I don't suppose anybody could ID the man. But beyond the fact he was a young Highlander, we know next to nothing about him. Even the description of his appearances are too vague to help identify the lad. We've no clues as to his name or background. For all we know, he might not even have been born in Alamigo. Might have been the son of refugees come to visit. There are other possibilities we're investigating, though. Yeah, that's it. I doubt his circumstances are unique. Blasphemies and beasts are born when men are overcome by despair, and whatever drove him to turn likely could have done the same to another. Therefore, if we are to prevent future tragedies, it is imperative that we identify and address the underlying cause. Until we do, we'll have no choice but to deal with the afflicted the only way we know how, by granting them a quick death. For now, I would have you join the hunt and keep my men from falling prey to those creatures. Are you up to it? Yeah, obviously. I mean, that's why I'm here. You have my thanks. And you have my throat. We are changing your voice. I am sorry, that too much gruff growling there. I gotta do something else for you. And as chance would have it, we've just received word that a number of beasts were spotted on the outskirts of Alakahana. That's better. The troops stationed there have already put them down, but were wounded in the process. First and foremost, they need medical attention, and that's where you come in. I'll meet you there. Alright. Medical attention incoming. Well, one's standing, and the other one is just straight up. Oh no, not good. Although the soldiers were able to lead the base away from the village and cull the lot of them, victory did not come easily. It's times like these that our lack of healers is most sorely felt. I dare say they've yet to receive any treatment at all. See to their wounds while I survey the area for any stragglers that may have escaped. Once I've completed my patrol, I'll head to the village to gather eyewitness reports. Look for me thereafter. Alright. Let's deal with these two. One of them's definitely injured. So here, have some free white magic. Courtesy of the Warrior of Light.
Oh, gods be good, I feel reborn. What was that?
Cure 1.
Oh, damn. Hold on. You're Dekumon, aren't you? I can't believe it. You're the one who inspired me to join the Resistance in the first place. And now you've come to save me in my hour of need. I'll never forget this. Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. One down. This one looks like he just needs a pick-me-up. Oh, but you get the same as everyone else. 1 cure 1. Right in the face. There you go.
I saw them change, right before my eyes. Those weren't monsters I killed, but innocent men. But it had to be done. There were others we had to protect, and thanks to you I can continue to do just that. Once I've made my way back, I'll give a full account. The families, they'll understand, I hope.
Sad, sad, sad. Can't do anything for the people who turn. Hey, there's Arenveld! For treating the wounds of those soldiers, you have my thanks. And theirs too, no doubt. It seems they were indeed successful in slaying all the beasts, if my search is any indication, but we must remain vigilant. I've also spoken with several people who witnessed the moment of the transformation, though the ordeal has understandably left them rather shaken. I hear you've been through a fair few ordeals yourself, Dekumon. That I have, my man, that I have. As for me, I've been kept busy with this and that, like getting the hang of this wheelchair. Obviously it has its limitations, but it gets me where I need to go. I've been working with this new organization as well, which is what brought me here. But no sooner had I revived than those locals turned. Sad. Rangfried, I heard you were there when it happened. What can you tell us? I don't remember Rangfried's old voice. It's been too dang long. The ones who underwent the change are the very people we were trying to help. That's no surprise there. Perhaps I should explain from the beginning. The meeting Lise held in the Royal Palace marked a turning point for all of Kirabonya. It spurred us to open a dialogue with peoples and communities we otherwise would have shunned. But there's still so many problems to be addressed, and countless souls struggling to build new lives for themselves. I decided to form a volunteer group, the Silver Griffins. Our main concern is the welfare of Alamegans who sided with the Empire, for whatever reason, and helping them find their place in society. In particular, the surviving families of the Cranialupi. Well, good on you, man. I thought you despised the skulls. Well, you've changed your tune, certainly, yeah. You had a pretty big heart-on against the skulls last I saw you, so I'm kind of glad to see you've kind of softened up a little bit. Make no mistake, I've not forgiven them. I don't have that in me, and I doubt I ever will. But the memory of that day in the palace, of Fordola asking to be locked up again after saving us all, it stayed with me. Got me to thinking about why she and the other youths would commit such atrocities, why they'd swear to serve the Empire, and the answer was simple, because they'd seen what we'd seen and suffered much the same. In a hell where all were condemned, they chose to betray one brother to save another. That's how the Guardians win. Not by breaking you, but by making you break yourself. By making that choice the right one for a man at the end of his tether. Healing only begins with liberation, and some scars will never will regardless. Those who've returned from foreign lands may have difficulty carving out a living here, but the ones who've pledged allegiance to Garlemald? This is not the Alamigo we dreamed of, but after 20 years of misery, I'll not see it all thrown away because we can't come to terms with the past. That's why I formed the Silver Griffins, to see that no one is cast aside. It's a cause for support, and it's what brought me here today. I've been acting as a mediator. I know, everybody's voices are suddenly shifting around here. And in the short time he's been with us, he's proven himself a natural. But despite our early successes, the families of the Skulls continue to refuse our help. I think I see where this is leading. They're the ones who turned, yes? This is no surprise. Their kin tormented and murdered fellow Alamegans. Anyone with a conscience would feel shame and guilt, and for some it might be too much to bear. I think I might know why they're turning us away. It's a sensitive matter though, so let's go somewhere we won't be overheard. Alright. Alright, what's the plan here? Somewhere quiet? It's about one of the men who turned. I saw his memories. Right, you have the echo. With the echo? I won't pretend I understand it, but tell us what you learned. I only caught a glimpse, but that was enough. It was during the occupation. A man raising his son. Only the two of them, but they were a family. To keep his boy clothed and fed, he chose to side with the Empire. He knew what others would say, but he did it anyway. And so he was branded a traitor. Every day his son listened to the jeering, the insults, but there was nothing he could do. When he came of age, he joined the Skulls in the hope it would make life easier for his father. He never dared to question his orders, no matter how depraved. He died in the revolution, but not before killing his own countrymen. His father wept not for the betrayer and murderer, but for the man he could have been. He blamed it all on himself, right up until the change took him. Damn. I can only pray he and his boy have finally found the peace they were denied in life. Well, one of them did. Alas, theirs is an all too familiar tale. They cannot forgive themselves, nor can they see how anyone else could. Maybe that's what we need to do. Get people to start forgiving them, even just a little bit. The sins of their kin weigh heavy on them. They think themselves undeserving of our compassion. And they're right. If they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. We've got to help them before it's too late. Growing up half Gali and Alamigo, I know how it feels to be shunned and hated. To hate myself. But so long as we give ourselves and others a chance, we can change for the better. And while I might be as clever or eloquent as someone like Alphino, I know I can make a difference. I might not have been the swordsman I used to be, but I'm still a fighter at heart, and I know it to Abba and Ali to make the most of this life so long as I've got it. I knew I liked you. We Silver Griffins will give our all to see that no more beasts or blasphemies ravage Girabanya again. So, Commander Alden, do we have your approval to continue our work? Oh, of course. There's no enemy more formidable than despair, and I'd be a fool to refuse your help. Not even a single one of our people had succumbed to this transformation as proof of our failure to protect them. Therefore, I pledge the Silver Griffins my unconditional support. Together, we will prevail. Now that we have Dekumon on hand to aid the troops, I believe we are ready to face any beasts we encounter. I fear it is only a matter of time before others appear. I ask that you lend the Silver Griffins your assistance in the meantime. I was right. We are going to be helping these guys out while we wait for the blasphemy to pop up again. Very good. For now, let's return to the city. love hanging out in these old areas again. Really, I thought I'd be talking to the Blasphemy Hunter, but alright.
Those who harbor guilt do so not because they are weak of heart, but because they have failed to meet the demands they make of themselves. It was the same for me when I believed that my failures had led to the Sultana's assassination. The despair and self-loathing were indescribable. I was fortunate that you and the other Scions came to my rescue, that I had friends who convinced me I was more than the sum of my worst mistakes. Now, we must do the same for the people of Alamigo. We must help them to heal and find the strength to, if not forgive, then come to terms with who we were, so that we can look to who we can be, who we should aspire to be. This is precisely why the work of the Silver Griffins is so vital. Though our problems are not new, the emergence of this deadly phenomenon means we cannot afford to delay addressing them any longer, and we will be better for it ultimately. Once we've decided on a course of action, you'll be the first to know. Until then, may Rolga watch over and keep you.
Man, that was a long first quest. Ah, I see. He walks off and then I talk to the Blasphemy Hunter for the next one. The Butcher's Blade. Oh, sounds like Fordola's gonna come back into it.
We were hoping you'd stop by. I'll show you to Commander Alden at once.
Alright. So how are we getting Fordola involved, huh?
You're a welcome sight as always, Lieutenant.
Oh, right, yeah. I'm a lieutenant in the Immortal Flames in this version of the character.
Aye, and a lot's happened since we last spoke. We Silver Griffins have been keeping busy.
As have I and my men, but I'm afraid we've little to show for our efforts. Although we've been searching high and low for the blasphemy, we've seen neither hide nor hair of it. Unfortunately, everyone else has had better luck. We've received reports of lesser beasts throughout Girabania, and putting them down is as important as hunting the blasphemy that got away. To complicate matters, rumors have been circulating that these beasts were the Skull's kin. While this was true of the recent incident in Galagahana, we cannot have people jumping to conclusions, given what they might feel tempted to do.
Ooh, that's a bad thought there.
It has been suggested that we take individuals into custody for their own protection as much as the safety of others, but that would only isolate them even further and give credence to the rumors.
The recent unrest has hindered the efforts of the Silver Griffins to no end. Therefore, I ask that you aid them in their endeavors and see if there is aught that can be done.
Also, you'll be joined by another volunteer, and try not to be too surprised at who it is. I thought I felt my ears burning.
Yep. No surprise there. Figured it was Fordola. And armed now.
I said I don't need a keeper, but they bloody listen. No, did they bollocks? Oh, come on, don't be like that. This is what you agreed to. Besides, you never know when you might have need of a healer, and there's none better than Dekumon.
He's right. You've earned a measure of trust, and this shouldn't be taken to mean otherwise.
The thick as thieves, are we now? Then there's no need for the sodding collar, eh? We all know it's not coming off anytime soon, but if this is how it's to be, then fine. So long as he keeps out of my way.
I want the two of you to visit the Silver Griffin's headquarters in Alagahana. Several relatives of the Kanaya Lupai have agreed to meet with them, and we could do with a measure of precaution.
If anyone so much as mentions the skulls, I'll deal with it. Understood? Let's get this over with.
Nice to see you too, Fordola. Sheesh.
She's as much as risk of turning as anyone, maybe even more so. You don't need the Echo to see the weight she's carrying. She's still not got a handle on her own Echo either. Sometimes the visions come without warning, and with such force that it's all she can do to stay standing. There's no telling what might happen when she comes face to face with the family of her former comrades, so look out for her, please. I will do that. I wish there was more I could do for her myself.
You know, if I didn't know better, I think you were a touch sweet on her.
But we've all got our own duties, and I'll see them through to the end.
So must we all. Follow Fordola's lead. We're counting on you both. But be ready to step in even if she curses you for it. Well, I'm sure I'll have to at some point.
Back here again.
And Fordola is just silent.
I had a feeling Raban would send you, Dekumon, but as for her... If you've got any complaints, take it up with the commander. No, it's fine. Truth be told, ever since the day at the Royal Palace, I've been thinking. Stop. You don't want to say it, and I don't want to hear it. To the matter at hand, then. We Silver Griffins have been working to support the relatives of the Crania Lupi, but one family has gone missing. A mother and her parents who lived together under the same roof. One of ours paid them a visit, but they were nowhere to be seen, and when they went inside to check, they found the house had been torn to shreds. Thick gouges in the floor and the walls, made by a beast's claws by the look of them. You think they've turned?
Well, one of them probably.
Aye, that's the most likely explanation. Please, do what you must before anyone else is hurt. There's no time to waste. I'll head west, you east.
Alright. I'm pretty sure I'll find the beastie before ye. I know how this goes. Hello? Are there any beasties around here? Oh. Yep, there is. Haven't gotten to do this in a while. Not even gonna be in combat that long. Well, I might be able to build up into something big here. Again, as a healer, your combat options just suck. All I can do is sit here and cast Glare over and over again. The Diadot doing its job, and that's pretty much it. There we go. Man, this is the worst part of this quest line, is actually having to fight things alone. Probably could have summoned out the Chocobo. Probably should have, actually. In the dirt, you spy an envelope containing a crumpled, tear-stained letter. Oh, yeah, I want to read the letter. Dear Mother, I hope this letter finds you well. Time is short, so I must keep this brief. Although I have never done anything to make you proud, I promise you things will be different when the war is over. Until then, take care and know that I love you with all my heart. I assume he died in that war. Placing the letter back into its envelope, you turn your attention to finding the others. Do I have me a second beastie? Yes, I do. I do have me a second beastie. Do that right off the bat. You know, yeah, this time I am gonna summon. Oh yeah, especially since I've pissed off the Thunder Spray here. Get this thing out of my hair. Thank you. Burn a couple of these off. Just make sure the old life bar stays up. Thank you. Oh, hold on. Time-worn wedding ring. Oh no. You discover what appears to be a wedding ring with a name and date engraved on the inside. With seemingly no more clues to be found, you decide to report to Rankfeed. Man. These early quests are always so sad with these things. We have to deal with the poor people who pop. They didn't deserve what happened to them. No one does. No one deserves that fate. Rankfeed, man, I'm sorry. We lost a couple. Were you able to find anything? Sad to say, I found 2. I moved my camera over here so my Chocobo's not in the way. Then it is as we feared. I found and killed a third. It was carrying this. A matching ring. I'll deliver these effects to the next of kin and arrange for a funeral, or as close to one possible under the circumstances. Crud. There's no changing the past. We'll always carry it, and the scars. But no matter who we were or what we did, we're Alamegans, then and now. The Empire was our enemy then, and now it's despair. Good words and deeds will serve us best in this fight. Weapons even an old man like me can yet wield. Thanks to the 2 of you, the missing villagers may finally be laid to rest. I and the other Silver Griffins will redouble our efforts to prevent any further tragedies. I finished checking the wares, sir. Everything's in order. Good work. Take a rest, lad. You've more than earned it. Keep this to yourselves, but Everett's younger brother was a member of the Crania Lupi. He's exactly the sort of person we're trying to help. Oof. Like many of the others, he was reluctant to talk to us at first, but after we'd gained his trust, we were able to help him find work. He's taken to it rather well. That's good. Though, that is definitely a bit of a face there. Uh-oh. Seeing Fordola not gonna help here.
It's the butcher.
And pop. Immediate.
Traitors, all of us. Kinsley is deserving of hate and death. Hate and death.
Oh god dang it. Yep, here he goes. Right here in the middle of town, no less. And there she goes, echoing out. Leaving me to clean up this mess.
Oh. Get back! Get back!
Yeah. Out of the way, lady. Oh. Oh. Fordola just took the hit for her. That's a lot of street cred she just earned right there. Ah. And here's calling for the healer now.
Stay away from her!
Fordola just saved your girl's life.
I know, but she's...
Sheesh.
Old wounds, man. Old wounds.
It happened in an instant, that poor lad. But it had to be done, and without hesitation. Would have been much worse otherwise. Could you go after Fordola and see to her wounds? I'll do what I can here.
Man. Thankfully she didn't get all that far.
I'm fine. Leave me be.
You are clearly not fine. You are holding your shoulder.
I said I don't need your help.
It's not only your injuries I'm worried about. I'm a healer. Let me do my job. Seriously.
God, you're like a dog with a bone. Go on then and make it quick.
Sheesh. The attitude of some of these people. I mean, it's mostly Fordola, but still. There. Better? You don't need the attitude with me, seriously.
A coral cannot change its spots, and there's no washing the blood off my hands. Nor would I, even if I could. Taking up Guardian Steel was the first choice, but not the last. Like the first kill, the hardest. Every choice after that came easier and easier, until I stopped counting, stopped caring. You tell yourself it's right. It's for the greater good. You give the order. Feel the ground tremble as the cannons fire. And when the dust settles, and your own men are buried beneath the rubble, and you tell yourself,
Uh-oh.
hey, me too.
Oh no, you don't. You hold it together, girl. You mustn't give in. I won't let it take you. There you go. Come back from the brink, girl.
That man in the village. I saw his past. I'm the one who killed his brother.
Oh.
I'll be all right. I just need a moment. Could you wait with me?
Oh, my goodness. She looks a little more composed now, at least.
Everything the skulls fought for, the sacrifices we made, the things we did. In the end, it was all for nothing. Sometimes I look back on the road I walked, and the bitterness I can still taste, and I wonder, if I'd grown up in another time, another place, would I have done the same to a different people? Was it always in me, to be me?
Tough call there.
All I know is, Everyone would have been better off if I'd never been born. But I was, and I dragged others into a hell of my own making. I remember those two brothers in particular, childhood friends of mine. The older one enlisted with me, but the younger... He would never have made it as a soldier. He was too kind, too good. Ansford died at Specula Imperatoris, but his brother's still out there somewhere. Not that I've got the courage to face him after what I did. I hope he's found the life he deserves. I met a former Skrull called Rudolph. I know a young man who survived the fall of Specula Imperatoris, yeah. I remember Rudolph. Wonder how he's doing. Rudolph! He's alive! But how? Oh. Is he the brother? I'm glad he made it out, but too many others didn't. Too many others still need our help. I helped make this blasphemy, and by Roga, I'll kill the bastard if it's the last thing I do. Anyway, that's enough out of me. I'll be heading back to the city to make my report. I suggest you do likewise.
Raubon's already here waiting. Welcome back. Fordola's already given her account, and I'd like to hear yours too. Well, it sucked. So, she almost turned into a beast herself. I'll have to take that into consideration before sending her into the field again. As far as the events in Alagahala are concerned, the two of you did well. Despite the appearance of several beasts, you were able to prevent any further casualties. However, this serves to confirm that those with connections to the Crania Lupi should be considered at risk of turning. Over the years, many of them have drifted away from the larger settlements and have taken to living in secret. Others made their way to Ul'dah as refugees, including some individuals of interest. As such, we'll be working closely with the Immortal Flames to locate and offer support to those refugees in particular. In fact, I plan to make the journey there for an audience with the Sultana. Once my preparations are complete, perhaps you might accompany me. I'm sure she'd be glad to see you. Well, sweet. I was wondering if we were actually going to go to Ul'dah in this little quest line. A new battleground.
Here to see Commander Alden, I take it? This way, please.
Oh, we're going to take Arenvald with us as well. Our request for an audience with the Sultana has been accepted. Before we depart, I'll share what we've learned since we last spoke. The blasphemy continues to elude us, all the while driving others to succumb to despair in turn. Even with Alamegan and Ul'dah forces searching for sign of the beast and more potential victims, we've yet to discern a pattern in the chaos. Nevertheless, if our blasphemy is like others, its behavior is likely dictated by the passions and regrets of the man it once was. Therefore, any information concerning him and the life he led may help us to track it down before it strikes again. I wonder if Arenvald's been working on that. We don't want people to shun the families of the skulls any more than they already are, but the fact remains that the vast majority of the beasts have been born from them. They're the ones at greatest risk of turning without question. Fordola concerns me too. She came close to transforming once before, so I think it might be best if we keep her out of this after all. Seems like a waste of a capable soldier. She deserves a chance to make amends, yeah. And unfortunately, the only way she's going to do that is by confronting this head on. I'm inclined to agree with Dekumon. She was able to resist the transformation and has shown no signs of succumbing since then. If she wants to do her part, I say we let her. I think that was a nod. I wasn't watching my character's head.
If only I could go in her stead.
Yeah, you're on the mend, my buddy. Actually, I was hoping you'd come with us to meet the Sultana. I believe she would benefit greatly from your understanding of the struggles our people face. You'd gain from the experience too. While she's not the sort to brandish a sword and charge into battle, you'll soon discover she's a champion of her own arena, as brave as any warrior. He still admires the Sultana. No surprise there.
I doubt she'd have much to learn from the likes of me, but it would be an honor to make her acquaintance.
Arenvald and I would go on ahead and wait for you at the hustings strip. We'll see you anon.
Yes, you will.
Hard to tell if that's a... No, that one was definitely a nod. I wasn't sure about the first one. Hard to tell with that big old stick in front of my character's head. Alright, what are you guys doing out here? Oh, hey, it's Papa Sean. I haven't seen him in a while. Master Papachon was just telling us that Nanimo, or should I say Lady Lurila, has gone on another of her jaunts about the city. Oh, not again with this. Though it is not my place to question Her Grace's judgment, I do wish she had consulted me before running off on her own. And perhaps I'm overthinking it, but it's unlike her to keep guests waiting. If I may say so, sir, with blasphemies appearing throughout the land, it's a dangerous time to be going for a stroll. I suspect that may be the very reason. She wishes to see for herself how the citizenry fare in these trying times.
Even so, it's downright reckless. We'll find her, though.
No, I couldn't possibly allow such esteemed guests to...
Not at all. Come now. We might be here on official business, but we're old friends. And as you may remember, I have a knack for tracking down errant sultanas.
Some might say that knack is rather charitable. I should be glad of the assistance. I'll take a look around here. Visiting the locals will give you an opportunity to learn of recent goings-ons in Uldar, too.
Well then, there's no time like the present. You're not with me on the case, this'll be over before you know it.
And 5 quest steps later, we still haven't found the Sultana, right? Speak with Raubon at the Sapphire Exchange. And it has been ages since I've been wandering down the old Sapphire Avenue.
It's been some time since I last combed these streets for young Lurila. As a matter of fact, Papachon and I would compete to see which of us would find her first. As I recall, most of the contests ended in my favor. The trick, you see, is to look past the disguise and pay attention to the gestures and mannerisms, the tiniest movements that might give her away. Come, I'll show you how it's done.
Okay. Follow Raubon's lead and try not to fall behind. I mean, we're in town, it's not like I can really go that far. What's the plan here? We just wander out and about? She's fond of perusing the stalls here. Yeah, well, I don't see her. I see a lot of player characters, but I'm not seeing any wayward sultanas. The crafters and the gatherers hard at work, keeping the market board fluid. Not something I ever wanted to get into. I've tried, believe me, I've tried. I don't have the time to do it. That's a full-time job right there on its own.
She's not here. Where could she be? Wait, what if she's been abducted?
You're kidding, right?
In one of these pots? Perhaps not.
He is hallucinating now. He's straight up hallucinating. Seriously thinking she's been abducted?
I've never known her to be this elusive.
Dude, we've been down one street. Granted, it's a busy street, but still.
That's odd. I've tried all her usual haunts, so unless she's hiding inside a barrel or something equally nonsensical, she must be elsewhere. Oh gods, why did she choose now of all times to run off? What if she's been abducted or run afoul of a beast?
There's no need to assume the worst. We should just keep looking. Perhaps we could try asking around? Nah. Come on, let's look around some more.
You're right, I know, but it's hard not to worry. Where could she be? Come to think of it, something Papachon said earlier caught my ear. He thought Nanano went on this excursion because of the emergence of the blasphemy and the beast, to better understand how her people are coping with the situation. If so, she'd be driven to seek out the most desperate and destitute. Her lane, then. Might I ask you to lead the way? I'll admit, my ability to track missing persons may have dulled somewhat.
You're just out of practice, that's all.
Her lane has never been plagued by pickpockets and the like. I'll watch your back, so go ahead and give the search for Lurila your full attention.
Raubon's now accompanying me. Yay! Haven't done this in a while. Oh! He actually gets talking spots! That's surprising. None of my other follows have had talking spots. Oh, am I gonna sit here and grill these two? Is that the plan? Ask about Pearl Lane.
While this may not be immediately obvious, conditions here have improved considerably of late. Her Grace continues to support the rebuilding efforts in Girabanya, which has led to the creation of jobs for many of the locals, both here and on the other side of Belsar's wall.
I'm half surprised you guys haven't knocked that wall down at this point. I really am. Next spot. Ask about the poor.
In every society there are the haves and the have-nots, and seldom is this divide more sorely felt than here in Uldar. Many of the young and able-bodied work for Lolorito as guards, though he earns more in an afternoon than most will in a lifetime.
Sad but true. Sad but true. And there's our end. And still no Sultana. That's not sad music. Wonder if they've already found her. Oh, there she is right there. Nana, Lady Lorilla.
Valbon, whatever are you doing here? And Dekumon too. Well, I am glad to see you both. Our meeting is not yet due to commence for several bells. What is the meaning of this?
We were worried, and with good reason. These are far too dangerous times to be roaming about alone, Your Grace.
Some things never change. But I assure you, I am quite capable of looking after myself in my own city of all places. More importantly, I wish to observe firsthand how the people have been faring of late, that I might be better prepared to participate in our discussion later. But I have finished. You will be comforted to hear.
Then pray allow us to escort you to more amenable surroundings. Would you care to ride on my shoulder?
Oh, certainly not. You've already attracted more than enough attention.
She's probably right. Alright. Well, at least we found her. Well, she's back in one piece, and I assume she's already, yep, there we go. Back in the royal dudes. Royal duds, sorry.
I thank you all for making the journey here during these difficult times. And it is my pleasure to properly make your acquaintance. On behalf of the people of Eorzea, allow me to express my sincerest gratitude for your continued dedication to our cause.
Aww. With respect, Your Grace, I'm just a soldier. Was a soldier.
Still, I say, Commander Alden would not make such a distinction, and neither will I. You yet serve your people and have provided solace to many Alamigos most vulnerable. If we are to deal with this threat, we must forearm ourselves with knowledge. I understand you come bearing information regarding the blasphemy and its victims.
We have indeed. And so we explain about the Kanasupani, basically everything that's been going on. It's just never a happy tale.
Hence the need to locate families of Cranialupi members who have fled to Thunland. There is no end to the struggles faced by Alamigan refugees, and those who once pledged allegiance to the Empire are no exception. But rest assured that irrespective of their pasts, all will be treated with an even hand. All will be afforded such aid as I am able to provide.
Well, that's good. Why does Arnold seem so surprised, though? Magnanimous as always, Your Grace. If I might be so bold, I have a question. What do you have in mind for those most at risk of undergoing the change?
I believe there is but one recourse. Execution. Earnest and open dialogue.
That works too, I suppose.
While some are born into an unimaginable wealth, others suffer great hardship and oppression. The circumstances of our birth are beyond our control, our fates subject to the whims of the gods, some would argue. I once thought myself a prisoner to my fate, a figurehead, helpless to watch on as my people starved, a powerless puppet. I wanted nothing more than to cast it all aside, to free us all, but failed for my naivete. And then was afforded a second chance for my privilege. The world is unfair, terribly so, but we have the power to push back against inequalities and injustices, if not overcome them on blessed occasions, to love our neighbor and share in life's bounties, to open our hearts and come together as one.
Truer words were never spoken. I see Nanano has not lost her talent for speech making.
But without the support of the people, such words are not but vain platitudes. Thankfully, my recent attempts to make inroads with the monitors have met with some success. Despite differing views on many subjects, we yet strive to find common ground.
Well, good. Common ground. We've been pouring all our efforts into aiding families of the Cranialupi, and while it seemed to help to a degree, some have still succumbed and turned. Of course, they're not the only ones in danger. Alam begins everywhere, whether they sided with the Empire
fought for the resistance, or were caught in the middle. They've all suffered. They all wake up in the night at times, haunted by memories of death and despair.
Time to expand the Silver Griffin's mission?
We know what can happen if those feelings are left to fester.
The legacy of the Imperial occupation will not soon be forgotten, but rather than seek to forget, mayhap it is necessary to remember, to acknowledge and accept the truth of it, that they may properly mourn those that they have lost.
Aye, a remembrance.
I propose we hold a memorial ceremony for those who died during the war.
Everyone, no matter who they were or what they did, let them be loved, let them be hated, but above all, let them be remembered. And in the remembering of the dead, in their honor and their sin, we the living of Ala Mhigo may yet find a sliver of common ground.
By gods, it's a noble sentiment, but bringing together people who have a reason to distrust one another and risk inflaming tensions could be a recipe for disaster. Then again, we can't keep ignoring the myriad in the room and do nothing to address the situation. As long as we leave it to the individuals to decide whether or not to attend the ceremony, I think it's worth a try. Organizing an event of this scale will require a great deal of effort, so I offer my full support. Once you know what's needed, come to me, and we'll put the plan to action. I like this one.
Obviously, some will balk at the idea, which is perfectly understandable, so I'll be listening to their opinions as well. After all, we want it to be a ceremony that brings Ala Mhigans together, not tear them apart. And I was wondering, Your Grace, if I might ask about your approach to, well, talking to people, winning them over. As you can tell, I'm no politician, so I'd be grateful for any advice you could share with me.
Why, I would be delighted to! As a matter of fact, I have a number of matters I wish to discuss with you in particular.
Well, and on that note, I suggest you and I return to Ala Mhigo. Get out of these two's hair, as it were. Alright, Raoban, I guess everybody's had their nice little talks. I knew Arenvald would make a good impression, but he's outdone himself. Not only has he found a new avenue in life to explore, he's taken to it with considerable aplomb. And while his proposed memorial ceremony is bound to have its detractors, I have faith that many will come around. Not all, but enough, I pray. For our part, we must stand at the ready for whatever may occur. I shall send word if there are any developments. And I'm sure there will be very shortly as soon as he walks off and I can pick up my next quest, which is laying the past to rest.
There you are, Dekumon. Commander Alden has asked me to convey you to the following information. At present, we are looking into reports of missing relatives of the Cranae Lupi. With the cooperation of the Silver Griffins, we're currently searching for any clues as to their whereabouts. Thanks to the concerted efforts of Rankfried and the others, the general public has been willing to cooperate with our investigation. Though many still harbor feelings of distrust for the collaborators and their kin, they've grown more receptive to our cause on the whole. Arenvald's been making steady progress in preparing for the memorial ceremony. He plans to host a meeting between the various community leaders to go over the finer details. In fact, he was wondering whether you could assist in delivering the invitations. If you can spare the time, you should be able to find him in the Mercantile District. Anyway, that's all for now. I have a few other matters to attend to, so if you'll excuse me, duty calls.
Duty always calls, but yeah. So we're on invitation delivery duty. That shouldn't be too bad. And he's still in this area. There you are.
Thanks for coming. It should come as no surprise that planning a memorial ceremony for a whole bloody nation would keep a man busy. But by Roga, that is something else. The hardest part's been gathering information on those who died in the war, especially when it comes to the skulls and other conscripts. And they're the ones we need to treat most carefully. If we don't acknowledge the crimes of our kin and all their painful truth, then we do a disservice to the victims living and dead. But if we let people paint them as monsters who did monstrous things, things we believe we would never do, then we perpetuate a different but no less dangerous lie. As for preparing the event itself, I'll be holding a meeting with members of each of the settlements around Girabanya. I've sent invitations to most of them already, but I was hoping you'd help me with the last two. There's Mirza Noon in the Peering Stones, and Sarisa in Viranaya. I'll give you one of each.
I haven't seen either of those two since Stormblood.
But to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they refused, considering how their people suffered at the hands of the Skulls. But I hope we can remind them that deep down, we're all just people trying to survive, to protect our loved ones. We may have driven the Empire from our lands, but as long as we hold fast to the grudges born of their attempts to divide and set us against one another, we'll never be free of their legacy of cruelty. And with that in mind, I've included an account of my experiences with the Silver Griffins and the people I've met. Victims, collaborators, their friends and their family, men and women who lived through it all, survivors. Even if they refuse to join the ceremony, at least they will know, and hopefully understand, our reasons for holding the event. Granted, I've not had much practice in writing important letters, but I think they'll get the message. You being the one to deliver them will make a world of difference, I'm sure. Take care, won't you?
I will take care indeed. Ah, there's a face we haven't seen in forever. God, dang it. I got choke of a butt in my camera. Sheesh. Greetings, friend. It has been too long since last we spoke. What brings you to my village? Well, here, I have an invitation for you. Ah, that's so much better. I can see now. So, the rumors are true. I need not read this letter in full to know its contents. I understand that rank-freeze volunteers are working to support the families of those lost in the war, which you will deny is a worthy cause, but to include the relatives of the Kranai Lupai. The Skulls watched the Empire slay us in our thousands, and still they turned their cloaks and fought for our oppressors. And you would ask us to mourn the Destitute's curs alongside their victims? I ask only that you read the rest of the letter. You have every right to be angry and to refuse. Our involved wishes only that you read his account before coming to a decision. Yeah, that one definitely seems like the more diplomatic of the statements that we had. To dismiss it out of hand would be discourteous. Very well. Well, dang, this guy's handwriting is atrocious. It's worse than mine. And believe me, mine is terrible. Family. As known, my tribe is my family, and I know all too well the responsibility that brings. I would do anything to protect them. Anything. Loyalty, pride, conscience, my very soul. All are meaningless if I cannot ensure the safety of those I love. I suspect that some skulls have been faced with the self-same choice, but to see how their kin have suffered, I cannot say I do not understand, though I wish that I did not. Their crimes will never be forgiven. They cannot be. But I, and any others who are willing, can offer our prayers for those tortured souls and the men they could have been. I guess that's all we can ask. I accept the invitation, not on behalf of the M tribe, but as Marad Noon, though I will put the question to my people that they may decide for themselves. I'm also eager to make the acquaintance of the person who wrote this letter. He's not one to turn a blind eye to the bitter truth, painful though it is to confront. The meeting will be the perfect opportunity to take his measure. I hope he doesn't disappoint. For letter number 2, to the leaders of the Lamias.
Welcome. To what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
Unfortunately, it's not much of a pleasure.
Then it is as I suspected. There have been rumors that such a ceremony would take place. Although you have traveled far to make this invitation, I must decline. We cannot mourn the loss of the fallen, yet the Kranai Lupai are to be counted among them. Like the Kalyana, they chose to aid the Guardian oppressors, killing and bleeding for those who would pillage our lands. Cowards and traitors all. And we are to assume that Kalyana who died fighting for the Empire will be honored as well? If so, that is all the more reason for us to refuse.
That is your right, and no one will say otherwise. I come only to present a letter and ask that you read it in full. Arenvold understands and accepts that you might refuse. His only request is that you read his account and then decide. Exactly. I'm just the messenger.
Yeah, if you insist. No one was spared suffering in the occupation. Not the resistance, not the collaborators, not the families of both. No one. That so many would die in shame and ignominy, having sold their souls only to lose everything, is a tragedy and a lesson. If they are forgotten, then the lesson of their folly is forgotten. For the sake of this land we call home, I will join you in remembrance and implore my people to do the same. In mourning, may we strengthen our ties with our neighbors as well. By together facing our past, we can build the foundation for lasting peace and prosperity.
Oh.
It would be my honor to attend the proposed meeting, and I look forward to personally thanking your friend Arenvold for his dedication. I and my peers have much to learn from the example he has set.
Mm-hmm. My man's winning all the hearts. Well, Arenvold, I say your letters were a real hit.
So, how did you fare in the fringes?
I'd say we did pretty good.
Wait, they said that about me. It's rare for me to get such glowing praise, especially from such renowned leaders like Sarisa and Mara Noon. More importantly, though, they agreed to attend the meeting, and I've got you to thank for that. After all, I imagine it's hard to turn down an invitation when it's hand-delivered by the Warrior of Light himself. Before I get ahead of myself, though, I must remember that this is only the beginning. Bringing everyone together is one thing. Coming to an agreement on an extremely divisive issue is a different kettle of fish entirely, as Her Grace was quick to point out. But, it's as she taught me, if our cause is just and our hearts are true, those of like mind will surely answer the call.
Mm-hmm.
And answer it they have. While there are bound to be differences of opinion, I'm sure there's nothing we can't overcome if we put our minds to it. But to that end, I was hoping you could join us, if you'd the time to spare, of course. There's still a few loose ends ranked for the 90 to tie up beforehand, so we'll meet you in the palace as soon as we can. Just having you there will make a world of difference.
My man is way too humble for his own good. He is seriously discounting his own contributions. Alright, let's see this big old meeting. Man, it's been a while since I've seen this area. Not since the Lakshmi incident, I think. Or no, we were here much more recently. We were here, this is where Ilsabard set off.
So, while we all agree upon the importance of the ceremony, we recognize that the inclusion of the Chronai Lupi will be distressing for many. I too lost family at their hands, and I would never ask others to forgive and forget.
Excuse me while I clear a notification. It's not even an interesting notification. Sheesh, no, we're not skipping cutscene, but now I gotta deal with this up.
But for all their crimes, they were Alamegans, just like us. None made the decision to side with Garlemald lightly.
They had a choice, and they chose to betray us. Who among us have not made difficult choices for kith and kin? And do not forget that Fordola chose to stand between us and a primal.
But what does that have to do with it?
Ah, my goodness. Don't look at me to step in. I ain't doing this for you guys. Brothers and sisters, arguing will avail us not. The fate of Alamigo rests on my shoulders and yours, and those of every man, woman, and child that calls these lands home. To uphold our honor, to strive for prosperity, to protect our loved ones. We all knew the weight of those responsibilities. It was that selfsame weight which drove many of our people to serve our oppressors, misguided as it was. And though they chose a different, unconscionable path, in the end we all wanted the same thing. To deliver our families from persecution, that they might live to see one more day. Because another day in shame and self-hatred was still better than none at all. The regretful dead are survived by their despair. A despair which threatens to drag us all into an abyss from where there is no escape. Know that it surely will if we welcome it into our hearts out of disdain for those we cannot forgive. But we Alamegans will not be so easily defeated. We will stand united and conquer this menace. Hey, he's starting to win a few over at least. Come on, Arenveld, chip in here.
Every Alamegan who fought and died did so in the hopes that one day we would be free. And we are free. We are. By the blood of our fallen brothers and sisters, we are free. Free to lock away the pain and pretend it has no power over us until it festers and takes us in our beds. And free to lay it bare and let it breathe, to acknowledge and to mourn our people at their best and their worst. The past is ours to bear, all of it, for ourselves and for future generations, so that they needn't suffer like we did. Let us make Alamigo a nation where no man is left behind, where he can make all the wrong choices and still be afforded the chance to make a right one.
I'd say he's starting to win him over. There we go, there's that big Raubon smile. Yeah, I'll smile too for that. I think he did damn well there. Sucks I had to leave the little blocker up in the corner of this whole cutscene, sorry. That's what I get for getting a notification in the middle of a recording session, huh? Oh, it's fun. That went better than any of us could have hoped for. You have my gratitude that your part in the proceedings, but we both know who the real hero of the day was. This was all Arenvold's idea, and it was his words that finally won over the naysayers. And now that we have the community leaders on our side, we should have a much easier time convincing the rest of the citizenry. Of course, holding the ceremony is by no means our final objective. No matter what we say, some will refuse to attend. It is my hope, however, that it will still serve to provide a measure of closure to us all, and to ease the plight of the vulnerable and ostracized. Speaking of which, you will recall the incident with Fordola and Oligana. The young girl she saved and her mother wished to thank her personally. Considering what happened last time, though, I do have reservations. It would be a valuable opportunity to present a former Skrull in a form of positive light. A Skrull? Yes, suddenly Final Fantasy is taking place in the Marvel Universe. On the other hand, I don't need to tell you how unpredictable she can be, and that's before taking her echo into consideration. But that's a conversation for another day. Go and get some rest, you've earned it. Ah, if only. If only. No rest for the wicked, I'm afraid. Trail of Skulls.
Something terrible has happened in the last 2 seconds.
And now what?
It's Fordola. She's escaped.
What?
She was accompanying a squadron out on a training exercise. One moment she was there, and the next she was gone. I didn't think much of it at the time, but she's been acting strangely ever since she went to meet that mother and child. You know, the ones who wanted to thank her for saving the girl's life. When I told Commander Alden about it, he went charging off to Aragana to ask if they had any idea where Fordola might be. I thought about going after him, but when I heard you were headed this way, I reckoned it'd be better to send you in my stead. Godspeed, Dekumon.
Fordola, what are you doing? I imagine she's not literally running away, but still. Odd place to meet, especially in the middle of the night, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Dekumon? I wasn't expecting to see you here. You've heard what's happened then. Just as Fordola was beginning to earn our trust, she's given us the slip. As you may know, she was a choker enchanted to prevent exactly that. If I were to give the order, she would be dead within moments, and she knows that. She took the risk anyway, so I have to believe she has a good reason.
That's what we're looking into now.
We're hoping Clarel and young Lily here could shed some light on the matter. Well?
We'd like to ask you about your conversation with Fordola, if we may.
Yes, of course. I know she's the butcher, or was at least, but it didn't seem right to go without thanking her. That's why I requested the meeting, to express my gratitude and my apologies. She was quiet at first, just stood there as we spoke as if she weren't even listening. And then I mentioned the blasphemy, and she looked at Lily, and all of a sudden clutched her own head and cried out in agony.
Oh no. The blasphemy's her father. Oh, that's why she ran off.
The echo.
Mm-hmm.
Can you remember what you were talking about at the time?
A man. The one I saw in the city. What? Who? Did he have something to do with all those people panicking?
Oh, she was there. That's what it was.
I think he did. When I was waiting for you, I saw him. He was by himself. He looked poorly, so I asked if he was all right, and he said yes. He had a nice smile. He got up and started walking, but then...
Oh, that's when he went, pop goes the blasphemy.
was shouting and screaming. I was so frightened I didn't want to talk about it. Not even to Mum. I wish you had said something sooner. Oh, I'm sorry, Poppet. This is my fault for leaving you on your own again.
The man who turned into a blasphemy, I'd wager. The girls saw him, which means Fordola has now seen him too.
There was one other thing. When Fordola was having her, funny turn, she said something. Charlie? No, Charlotte, I think. Yes, that was it.
Ring any bells?
Can't say it does. But if he has anything to do with the skulls, the Silver Griffin should have some information on him.
We'd best have a word with Rangfried then.
That we should.
You've both been very helpful. I'd also like to thank you for being so kind to Fordola. She may not have said it, but I'm sure it meant a lot to her.
Yeah, it did, in more ways than one. I have a couple more things I'd like to ask, so I'll catch up with you later.
Alright, let's go see Rangfried about a Charlotte. I have a feeling that Fordola knew who the blasphemy victim was.
Charlotte, you say? Yes, the name comes up during our recent investigations. What was it again? As I recall, he served under the Viceroy during the occupation, and his whereabouts are currently unknown. Had an older brother, named Unsfrid, one of the Krenai Lupai.
Oh, there's the connection. Which would give him a connection to Fordola. Is there anyone who can tell us more about him?
Yes, an uncle who has recently helped find employment here in Alagana. He's actually the one who asked us to look for Charlotte. You'll most likely find him working at the Sleeping Stones. As it happens, I was planning to bring him something to eat. I'll join you there shortly.
Oh, well, that's convenient. Sleeping Stones, you say? Alban looks like he's ready for a fight. Oh, no, never mind. Perhaps should have asked him what he looked like. Well, he's got to be right here somewhere.
Still looking, eh? That's him over there.
A miner hard at work. I know the feeling all too well. Hail, good sir.
I hope we're not interrupting.
No, of course not. It's good to see you, Rangfried. My word, the Bull of Alamigo and the champion of the Alliance. What brings such esteemed guests to our humble, quarry? At ease, my good fellow. We merely wish to ask you about your nephew. Well, now he's definitely not at ease.
Charlotte, you found him?
No luck then, yet.
Is there anything else you could tell us? More about his childhood, perhaps?
Well, wasn't much of one, I'm afraid. Poor boy's life was ruined long before he had any say in the matter. His parents and I swore allegiance to Garlemald to secure ourselves and our kin's citizenship. For all the good it did us here, living amongst our countrymen who treated us as pariahs. Took its toll on him and his brother, to be spat on as traitors by association. One thing led to another, and Ansfrid, together with most of his friends, joined the Imperial Army. That's how it started, you know. The Krenai Lupai, Gaius's loyal little pups. Do you remember the names of those friends of yours? Yes, they had quite the reputation growing up. There was Emmeline, Rudolph, and that angry little girl who'd grow up to become the butcher herself, Fordola. Like I said, as soon as he said Ardolf, I knew this was the connection. Charlotte was part of their group too, yes? But from what we've heard, he chose not to become a soldier. Wouldn't have lasted a day in training. He knew that better than anyone, of course. Not that it helped him to feel any less guilty for turning his back on the others. He blamed himself for their deaths, for not stopping them when he had the chance, for not being strong enough to fight by their side. Maybe save them, maybe not. But he wasn't there and he wished he had been. Then one day, he was gone. Wherever he is, I hope he's safe and well. I'm afraid it's the quite opposite. Pretty sure he's the blasphemy we're looking for.
So do we. Thank you. The information you shared should prove useful. As for you, I've brought some food. Why don't you call it a day and go enjoy it with your family? It's past midnight after all. Good lord, how are you still out here working? I can't even see my face. Well, I can't see my hand in front of my face, that is. No one can see their own face, not without a mirror. Or a couple of extra eyes in a weird place. Let him have his peace for now. Back to Aragana.
So not only was his brother a member of the Skulls, but Charlotte himself was a childhood friend of Fordola's.
I'm told he refused the support of the Silver Griffins as well. He's been trying to make his own way for some time now.
His brother and his friends died at Specula Imperatoris, was safe for Fordola, and the Golds only know how he felt about her after that.
Or how Fordola felt about Charlotte after seeing Lily's memory of him transforming into a blasphemy. Brother of a man she killed and a childhood friend besides. She thinks she's responsible for this. That's why she ran. To kill the beast. I'd never thought I'd say this, but I'm worried about her. Fordola is a survivor and an outcast herself. Exactly the sort of person the Silver Griffins are trying to support. You've seen for yourself the sacrifices she's willing to make. And if you can learn to feel sympathy for her, maybe others can too.
I think we have enough information for the time being. Let's return to the city and plan our next move.
Good idea.
Wow, we're gonna go this entire set without seeing the blasphemy till the very end, aren't we? And now it's raining. I've assigned a few of my soldiers to assist the Silver Griffins in investigating Charlotte's background. With luck, we'll find him quickly, and then we can prepare for what must come after. We're all but certain Charlotte's the one who's transformed into a blasphemy, so there's not to be done but put him out of his misery. As for Fordola, I put Monago and her troops in charge of tracking her. Once they found her, they have my permission to lend whatever support they deem necessary. If it comes to it, I may ask you to join the search. Until such time, I ask that you take this opportunity to rest. No opportunity is going to be given. We're going right into the last quest, the Gift of Mercy.
Oh, thank goodness you're here! Commander Alden needs to see you right away. Follow me.
Alright. And yes, that's a nod. It's a pain in the ass to tell in the shadow. And if it's not, I'm counting it as one anyway. Keep it contained until I arrive, but do not engage if you can help it. Understood?
That was Monago. Her unit has found Fordola. Or rather, she has found them.
In fact, I have Fordola on the search party's link pearl. She wants a word with you. Alright. This should be good. Come on, girl, pick up!
This is urgent, so be quiet and listen. The blasphemy, my friend, is right in front of us. I tracked him down, and when he spotted me, he started heading towards Specula Imperatoris.
Ah.
Look, Dekumon, I need your help. Charlotte's not... He never wanted to hurt anyone. But this thing he's become is... I can't leave him like this. I've got to stop him, whatever it takes.
I'm on my way. Let's wait till we get there. Do not engage. Is that clear? No. I'm on my way. Enough said.
I owe you.
No, you don't.
This is Monaco. Can you hear me? We've got the blasphemy surround. Ah!
And that's where it cuts out.
It's on the move. Get ahead of it, but maintain distance. We need to... Fordola! What are you doing, Fordola? Fordola!
There's no time to waste. They need our help. Well, let's get going. The only question is, are we starting here, or am I gonna have to go to Specula Imperatoris first? Ah, good. It's here. I don't have to walk all the way there. Ratita and Algria are not that far from Specula Imperatoris. If we let the blasphemy slip through our fingers, it doesn't bear thinking about. And while Fordola is determined to slay it by her own hand, we can't allow her recklessness to put the lives of others in jeopardy. The time has come for action. Are you ready? In jeopardy as well. Yeah, old fat tongue there going. Gift of Mercy, duty calls. Whoo, he's a big boy. Also, it's suddenly daylight for some strange reason.
Hold the line for as long as you can. Commander Alden and the Warrior of Light will be here any moment. Stay strong.
Oh, here we come. Oh! Big kick right in the knee. And here I am to heal everyone. You've done well. Leave the rest to us.
Yes, sir. Get the engine to safety.
That's my cue.
Coward. Coward. Traitor. To them. To everyone.
Oh, really? I get to echo out now at the last second? Oh, this is the moment, isn't it? The moment he decided not to be a skull. Or maybe he tried to join up with the skulls. I wish there was another way. Ah, so do I. But fighting's the only thing I'm any good at. Makes me wonder how I ended up with such a clever brother. Too clever for my own good, maybe. Just the thought of going into battle and getting hurt. About having to hurt other people. Yeah, he's a bleeding heart, I shot it. Sooner befriend a fly than to shoo it away, much less kill it. I could kill if I wanted. I could. No, you're right, I probably can't. Damn. But you don't, and there's no shame in that. Leave the soldiering to us, Charlotte. We'll show the Guardians what we're capable of. Get the power and respect we deserve. And then, things will change. They will. You'll see. We found a place for ourselves, and you'll find yours soon enough. Alright, that'll do. Everyone who's enlisting, meet back here tomorrow. Poor Charlotte. Blames himself. Oh, is he there that day? Or is this after the fact? In the end, what good did I do? They gave everything they had to give, while I hid like a rat waiting for the storm to pass. Yeesh. Coward. Coward. Coward! Ah! And he pops right there. Nope. I mean, he's supposed to pop in town, so... Oh. There it is.
Oh. Coward. Coward. Better dead. Better forgotten.
It's not your fault, Charlotte. It's not. You didn't do anything wrong. And I'm the coward, the traitor, the butcher. I'll always be the butcher. Don't you dare, Fordola!
Oh, wow, she actually managed to overcome it on her own.
You don't get to end it. You don't get to give up. I won't let you. If you have a lifetime to make amends and atone, to become something more than you were. But if you die here, you are everything they say. Everything you believe. Is that what you want?
No, it's not. She's not going anywhere. Arenvald? Dude! You can't fight!
Arenvald, why are you here?
There's nowhere else I'd rather be. I can't fight by your side, but I can still cheer you on. I've seen your past, Charlotte. How you were left behind while your friends rushed into battle. It's bloody hard, isn't it? Wanting to do something so desperately with every fiber of your being, knowing that you should be able to. You should, but you can't. So you find another way to support them. Your way. You did that too, didn't you? You were there for them, even if they didn't feel like it, but you were, Charlotte, you were. As a friend of mine once said, not all heroes are forged in the fires of battle. Oh. The history of Ala Mhigo is writ in blood. While we cannot change the past, we can change the future. And for that, we must all play our part. All of us. Let us grant Charlotte the peace he deserves. You too, Fordola. Let's get in here and mix it up.
Hansfeld, Emmeline, one day we'll be together again, but not yet. You'd never hurt anyone, Charlotte. That's not who you are. You'll be remembered as the kind soul you always were.
Blasphemy. He doesn't even get a weird name. He's just Charlotte. Ah, the poor guy.
I'm counting on you.
That's my job. All right, time to pull out the fancy white mage magics. Oh wow, this thing's got a death zone on the edge. That's not good. And we get to do this to the Stormblood music. Oh, I love it. All right, let's lay waste.
As one!
All right. I need to make sure I can see Raubon here so I can actually deal with him. Oh, this is not an easy thing to do. Having to heal NPCs is never fun. Uh-oh, that's meant for me. Oh, he's a Titan XP. I just realized he's the Titan model. Then I saw him starting to do landslide. 11 spear evocation. Oh, what was that? Yeah, let's not be anywhere near these. Ooh, I gotta deal with my mana. Thank you. Uh-oh. I don't want to lock. I don't want to lock. Here we go. I need is a little Afflatus Soleil. Have one of these. And a Benison too, dude. Woo! I'm gonna give him a couple of the Solaces. Then I can do this. Big old Afflatus Misery. Did he just clap her? He did clap her. I did it. Oh, I need to regen as well. Give you a Dia. Actually, where's my new skill? Lily of the Bell. This thing is awesome. It pulses AoE heals out every few seconds. It really lets me focus on the murder. Conviction towers. I know what those are good for. And the Lily Bell thing's really cool. That did a lot. Oh, fudge. Yeah, that's what I thought. Fuck, I'm gonna get clipped by that one. Yep, I knew it. Oh, that's gonna smart. Oh, Raubon's gonna save my ass! Oh, he did good there. Thanks, man. For that, you get a Tetra.
Show them what we're made of!
Fresh of Seas. Asuna, give her a regen. Give Raubon a regen. Get out of the AoEs. He's gonna fire at the same time. Come on. There we go. Oh, that's meant for me. Get behind you.
Arizona!
is this, a warrior version of the frickin' paladin wings? Bullpucky! Wow, that's smarted. I gotta heal like crazy here. There it was! Woohoo! Nice. God dang, that was the longest limit break channel I've seen in a while. Whew. And poof. Oh. This is new. There was actually a part of him left in the blasphemy? Huh. Go figure. Or this is more just in her own mind than anything, because we all know if you blasphemy out, your soul is gone. That's it. The dynamis basically consumes the ether completely. Still, it's nice to hope.
Thank you. I mean it.
You're welcome. Ah, she smiled. Yes! Oh, that was a good fight. That was a darn good fight. Honestly, being a healer on controller and having to deal with NPCs is really tough to get that auto-targeting to hit the things you want. Sometimes I kind of do want to get the mouse out. But we still managed it. AoE heals are very handy.
I've been looking everywhere for you.
Aw. Look at that, Fordola made a friend. Oh, that might be the thumbnail right there.
Have you now?
Oh, that's sweet. And now we just have the cleanup phase. We've put down the last remaining beast spawned by the blasphemy. It is a pity we could do naught for those who'd already turned, but that we were able to prevent further casualties is nothing short of a miracle. It's astonishing, too, looking back at Charlotte's case. Although his existence spurred others to transform, he never attacked any settlements or travelers. Even when he underwent the change in the middle of a crowded street, those who were present escaped with minor injuries at worst. I think that deep down, his compassion is what kept the raging blasphemy at bay.
Maybe. The only time he emerged from hiding was to journey to the place where his brother died.
Have something to add there, Fordola? Aye, it's clear he still retained some semblance of his former self. Another victim of the Empire's terrible legacy, along with his friends and so many others. But the Chronai Lupi weren't the creation of the Imperials alone. Many of those youths sought a place with them because they were denied one with us.
That's why the memorial service is so important. It's our chance to face our past together, to give them in death what we couldn't in life, to not deny anyone a place in memory, even if it hurts or makes us feel ashamed. You'll be attending, won't ya? I haven't been ordered to, so I suppose not.
In light of your leal service to Alamigo, I intend to have the conditions by which you are bound eased. Providing I'm able to obtain approval, you will be granted a degree of freedom. At the very least, we should soon have no need for that choker.
Well, there'll be no objections from me. You've done well. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were smiling. Well, I for one couldn't be happier her efforts are being recognized. It gives me that much more motivation to continue my work with the Silver Griffins and bring the people of Alamigo closer together. Got to do my best to keep up with a certain little lordling I.
Ah, yes. Wonder how he's doing. I think we've done enough for one day. Time we get some rest. And on that note, probably just time to fill this one up and call it a day. Allow me, both as guardian of Alamigo and your sworn comrade, to express my thanks for coming to our aid in these desperate times. No matter what manner of disaster may befall us, your presence alone is enough to keep the flame of hope burning bright. Aye, even someone on the very precipice of despair, such as Fordola, can find salvation in your guiding light. Well, laying on it a bit thick, aren't you? Heavens forbid people would stop throwing themselves in harm's way at every opportunity. Sheesh! You're something of an immortal flame yourself. Why not? I like that one. Ha! Been waiting for a chance to use that one, haven't you? I'd like to think I could still pull my weight on and off the battlefield, but that might be a bit generous. In any case, it's safe to say we've all benefited enormously from your sterling work here. We couldn't ask for a better healer, or a better friend. Alright. Our ambassador and Radzat Han will be relieved to learn of our successes here. If you happen to cross paths, give him my regards, would you? Happen to? Well, that's where I'm headed next. Clean this one up, and then there'll only be one set left. Alright, time to get this party all wrapped up. Ah, greetings! How goes it tonight, amigo? Oh, you'll be happy to know, the blasphemy is no more. Eliminating blasphemies, helping organize a memorial ceremony. Oh, they've certainly kept you busy. Pretty much.
A fine example of the goings above and beyond the call of duty. I'll be sure to send word of your exploits to Uda. Wait till the Sultana hears about this.
I'm sure she already knows.
Her Grace will not be the only one to welcome the news. On behalf of the Grand Company of Eorzea and our allies, allow me to express my most heartfelt gratitude.
I am so ready to have this one wrapped up. I can now dye this gear if I really wanted to. But more importantly, that's gonna be it for this one. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and favorite, and subscribe to join me for more Eorzean adventures. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.